welcome in. Thank you everyone for coming. Let me see who's in chat right now. Scandinavia, Banana. I think I saw Junie, so if you're here too, hello everyone. And anyone who I didn't mention, feel free to call me out. And Scandinavia, thanks for being here despite having school in the morning. You're welcome to leave whenever you need to. I don't want you to feel pressured to stick around. But yeah, you're welcome anyway. I definitely know how it feels staying up super late and then getting up super early. So, we're working on, as I mentioned, art for my channel. This is what I'm working on so far for my new YouTube banner. Obviously this is very rough, it's just kind of like a general outline of kind of what I want it to look like. And I'll definitely take any like feedback and like suggestions for if you guys can think of any like little internal references or anything you think I should add on here. I kind of just tried to put like any object I could think of that I use, so like my drawing tablet, yarn because I crochet, like pencils, paintbrushes, fabric, and like sewing supplies, like anything that I might use on the channel for crafts and things. I might add in my typewriter because I do have one and I plan to do some videos with it, but they might be hard to draw, so we'll see about that. Oh, that's awesome, Scandinavia. I hope you got a cool PC that does everything you need it to. And I hope the gaming chair is comfy. I've heard a lot of mixed things about it. I think they just work differently for different people because everyone's body's a little bit different. So I have this to work on, and then I have this that's going to be a new background for my like chatting screen. I'll show you what I have right now. So this is my current chatting screen. It's very simple. It just has like a table and a chair and like a generic background with a little few decorations. So I want to not replace this one, still use this one for when I want a simple background, but then have this one for when I want something like more fun to look at. So it's like my bedroom. Again, this is also rough, so I'll probably add in more details just for fun. I like to have like a lot of little things to look at in backgrounds. So I'm going to be working on one of the two, if not both of these. Depending on just what I feel more motivated to work on. I pulled up more than one because sometimes I just get bored of one and just want to move to something else. PC will be set up tomorrow while you're in school, and the gaming chair is super comfy. Awesome. Thank you, Banana. I'm glad you like it. I still have to decide how I want to line it. I think I'll probably use this pencil brush. Same one I used to, yeah, do the sketch, but just do it more cleaned up for the line art. Because I like the kind of like childish, whimsy, the feel that this gives. It almost makes it feel a little more like a children's book illustration like. And so that's why I like to use this brush a lot. I also just use it for my sketches because it feels like very nice for sketching, kind of like a regular real pencil. Hi Junie. I'm glad you like them. Yeah, I've got like porcelain dolls back here, and then like that I think is supposed to be an anime figure. It's my derpiest, probably off-brand Miku. Obviously they'll be like more detailed and cleaned up and look nicer. I'm kind of still deciding too if I want to add more like dolls and stuff back here. But yeah, that's the rough idea. Did you say album in the background? Oh, yeah, it did say album in the background here. I'm debating about this too because, yeah, I would love to have some kind of like a vinyl back here in its case, because I do have one, but I don't think I can put the one I have back here. I'd be worried about copyright issues. So I might design my own like album cover to put back there just for fun, to add a little something musical, because I love music and I would love to do covers in the future. Right now, I don't think I'm in a good place yet to be doing it, just because I don't have the best setup or know what songs to do, and I kind of have to figure out that whole process, but that's a future goal of mine. Do I like Taylor Swift? I don't hate Taylor Swift. I have a weird relationship with Taylor Swift. Like, I don't mind her, but she's a little overplayed, I think. Especially when I go back to college. My college friends play her non-stop, and because we like to carpool, I end up stuck in their car hearing nothing but the same Taylor Swift songs over and over and over again. So I've gotten sick of her, but I don't dislike her. I think she's one of the better pop singers, although I don't really listen to a lot of American pop in general. So far in school, maybe class gets to try music. Ooh, that's awesome. Yeah, I hope you have a lot of fun with that. It's always fun when you enjoy school assignments. It's a rare but beautiful thing. So let's see. I think I'm gonna start on just lining the parts I know for sure of this one. And then I kind of have to think a little more about the details, so we might do a little back and forth of these two, based on whatever I'm feeling like. And let's see how many people are here. I might talk in a little bit about my next stream. I think a lot of you already saw that it's gonna be my last one for a little while. Not my last period ever, but potentially my last until I get a break from college. For two reasons. One, I'm gonna be living in a little house with my roommates, and I don't know their schedules for sure yet, and I feel a little weird like streaming in a little room with a bunch of other college friends in the house potentially listening in to me. The other reason is because I'm just gonna be busy with school, and I'm not very good at coordinating a whole bunch of different things. So I want to focus on school mostly, but I hope that whenever I have a break, like for fall break, Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, etc., then I'll schedule more streams during that time. And then the in-between, when I'm not streaming, I'll still be posting videos, so you'll still have content to watch. But because of that, my next stream, I want to do a little something special before I leave for a bit, and you don't see me for a little while in streams. So I kind of want to talk about like some ideas for what we might want to do together, so you guys can also have some input and we can do something that everyone enjoys, not just me. So yeah, we'll talk about that pretty soon. I want to make sure everyone has a chance to get in here who might want to talk about that. Totally understand being sick of music that's not actually bad. Yeah, it happens. Like the song Happy, I forget who sings it, but it came out when I was in high school. And I liked it the first like 2 times I heard it, but they played it in the hallway of my high school every single day, probably at least 5 times a day, and I got sick of it in like a few days. It was horrible. So I can't listen to the song the same again ever. When now we kind of follow with the word sick, it reminds me of another song I love called Sick of You. Is that by that person we talked about last time, Boy with UK? I think I may have seen that. I did look him up after last stream, and I listened to a few of his songs earlier today. I didn't listen to that one, but I think I did see that one. He has a very interesting vibe. I think it's very, kind of unique. Like, I've heard, like a similar sound before, but I think with the addition of the ukulele, it gives it his own little twist to it. Oh, also I love his, like, mask he wears. Boy with UK and Olive Tree, so it's like a collab song? That's cool. Yeah, I thought UK guy had a really interesting style. I like I've seen other musicians do this before when they have like a mask or a helmet or something that covers their identity, and so it makes them a little bit more mysterious. I kind of like that. I think it's fun. Felt that way about Firefly by Owl City. Ooh. Yeah, I definitely get that. It was played so much. I'm glad that you can enjoy it again now. Because I feel like it is a catchy song. It is a fun song, but it got played just so much. So I think I did have a period of time where I was sick of it too. His most recent song? Yeah, I listened to that one. I watched that music video. It was pretty interesting. I think the one reason I would not like listen to his music all the time is because it's pretty like depressing. And like I don't have a problem with depressing songs, but I know if I listen to them too much, it's probably gonna make me more edgy, and I don't want to do that to myself. I wish I could share like what music I've been listening to recently, but I think the only thing I've really been listening to recently is Hololive music, which is mostly covers. So, I mean, I could share about them, but there's not that much to say about their covers besides they did this song that other people already know and it was good. You and your mom were thinking about going to London. Ooh, that would be fun. It's too bad. Like my mom had a similar situation where she was gonna travel to a different country to go see the Eagles. The Eagles are her favorite band, and they were doing their Hotel California tour a couple years ago, and there were like 2 locations or something that they were doing. It was like really limited, and she really wanted to go. And it was like in a really pretty country that she would like to visit. So she thought about doing it, but they sold out like instantly. So these like sections are the different parts that'll be visible depending on like what gadget someone's using to view my channel. So the smallest strip, I believe this is what you'll see on laptop or on phone. I don't remember which one's which. I feel like this one's probably on phone, this one's probably on computer. The biggest one is like if you're looking at on a TV monitor. So most people are not gonna see the whole thing, they're gonna see just like the middle strip. So I want to make sure the most important details are in that space, and then the rest is like extra fun details for those who are viewing like on TV screen, which I don't think most people do for YouTube. So like I want to make sure it's there, obviously, for the people who do view it that way, but I want to make sure anything that I like want everyone to see is in that initial slit, which is why like my face is here. It's gonna be just like poking up like that. Hey look, how's it going? It's going good. I'm working on my new YouTube banner. Or at least this is the rough idea of it. And then we might work on this new background for me, for my chatting streams too. But it's still rough, so I have to work out some of the details still. Oh yeah, definitely Scandinavia. Like with that contrast between like the kind of funness of it and then the sad feeling of all the like the lyrics and the way he sings. It creates really interesting sound. That's definitely something I like. And a lot of the music I like does have that kind of dichotomy of cheery tune but sad lyrics. But a lot of the stuff I listen to that's like that is in Japanese, so if I don't feel like being depressed, I don't have to think about what the lyrics are. When MCR came back and started doing shows again. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, resale tickets go crazy prices, for especially for the big bands and stuff. Just a lot of rekeying? Sounds about right. Just a regular day in the life of Locke, right? Really think you're gonna have to go to sleep? Oh, that's okay. Have a good night, Scandinavia. Thanks for stopping by. And good luck with school tomorrow. So as I mentioned about my next stream being the last I'll do for a while, I'd love to hear your guys' input. I'll kind of mention what I have in mind right now, and then if you guys have any better ideas, because I want to make sure it's fun for everyone. I'll ask for a little bit of input of like if you think my idea is good, if you'd rather do something else, or if you have any additional things like you'd like to do during that stream. My idea right now is we'll do like a little tea party. I might set up my hand cam again and pull out my cute little teapot and my cards, and we can do like tea and solitaire while I do like a Q&A. But I don't know how long that Q&A would actually take, so I was thinking of like other activities I could probably do. And Looper recommended doing like a what do you call it? Like a browser game with everybody. That's like multiplayer, so people could play with me. Like Scribble would be really fun. So we might do that. Well, Junie, I might be able to add some dolls into the tea party part. We'll see. If that interests more than one person, at least. I mean, even if it only interests Junie, I could still bring them along. But, would you guys like to do some Scribble? Or, Gardic phone, maybe? Do you think, like, we should just do open with all of chat, or I should invite some, like, guest stars to the channel? I'll have to see if I can set that up. But if you guys would like a little collab stream, and certain members in chat right now, cough cough, wanna join me for that, I could probably do something like that. Are you doing face reveal? No. Well, I mean, you're seeing my face right now. This little cute bear girl in the corner here? Yep, that's me. That's my face. So in the future, I want to get a proper live 2D model, which if you haven't seen one, it's a drawing that kind of like actually move like a person would. And eventually I want to have one of those set up, but the reason I don't is because my computer can't handle it. They take a lot to run. So it would be super laggy if I tried to do that. But like once I get a better computer setup, then I'll have like a little more of a like character moving around on screen. You'll be able to connect to me a little better, but it'll always be Bear Girl. That's the face of the channel. That's what you'll always see me as. Art games with the art bear? Yes, indeed. I would love to, if that would be entertaining for everyone. I kind of have to try them out and see how they work. I mean, I know how they work. I've played Scribble. I've watched like the Gardic phones and stuff, but I've never like done a open game where like anyone in chat can join. So I'll have to see how easy that would be to set up. I'm sure it won't be hard. But I'd be willing to do something like that, or I'd be willing to invite some guests to play on stream, or a combination of. Whatever sounds most interesting to everyone. And that stream will most likely be on Monday. So you guys can plan ahead if you want to be there. And it'll probably be at the same time. If I have to move it, it'll probably be Tuesday. But I don't think I'll have to move it. I'll find out tomorrow if I will. So, if I'm going to move it, you'll find out by tomorrow. I'll just adjust the time on the waiting room, which is already up. It's just got a, placeholder thumbnail right now. Faces are always the hardest part to line. Yeah, that looks fine. Monday, you say? Is that good for you, or should I switch it? I mean, I don't want to just based on just one person, but I want to make sure that as many people as possible can be there if they want to. I've also been thinking about which video I want to upload next week, because Wednesday, I believe, is my Wednesday or Tuesday? One of those. I think it's I forget what my posting day is. It's the same day I've posted all my videos, either Tuesday or Wednesday. I think next week is my next like video upload day. I don't actually remember if I've officially announced like my schedule, but I've been trying to post bi-weekly. And I have a few videos in the works, but I'm not sure which one I want to post next week, so I'll just have to finish editing whichever one I'll be posting. Yay! I am so excited, Junie. And I need to eventually get some collabs going on this channel. Rainbow Order? Ooh, like a one color challenge kind of thing, but for a character for each color. I feel like that would be actually really fun for like a video series. Right now I've started already the series of redrawing those old fish characters I made like 8 years ago. So that could be a second little series I do. That'd be really fun. I've been kind of thinking about what design challenge I want to do next too, so that's a good idea. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, Block. Yeah, like people were doing fan art. They would do like either the same character in each color or just a character from something they like for each color. I saw one that was himbo characters. Yes, Junie, I would love to get some collabs going. Again, because I'm basically gonna have to go on streaming break after my next one, probably not right away. Unless we do a video collab, I might be able to get away with that. But absolutely, I would like to reach out to a few people, not gonna mention any names. And even if I don't reach out to you, anyone who knows me and is a content creator and wants to do a collab, I'm open to talking about ideas at the very least. I have definitely some people in mind already, but I can make room for some other people as well. And covers are definitely something I want to start on soon as well, but start on rather than positive I'll get them done. I'm still working on like recuperating my voice. I think it's definitely getting better because I've been singing over the summer, but not as much as I wanted to. I had originally planned to practice like pretty much every day over the summer to get my voice stronger. Haven't been doing that. But I've been helping out with my mom's choir every like other weekend almost. So I've been kind of practicing a little bit, and I feel like I'm less, what's the word? Horrible to listen to than I was at the beginning of the summer. So I feel a little bit more confident in my singing ability, but I don't know if I'm ready yet because last time I felt like I was singing fine and then recorded it, it sounded awful to me. So we'll see if I'm ready for that yet, but I want to do that at least sometime soon because that's something that like is a big goal of mine. I've wanted to do covers on YouTube for years. I don't even know when I started wanting to do it. It's been a long time. Drawing each other's OC collabs is something that can work for a video collab? Absolutely. Definitely not just because you want to draw. Aw. Yeah, definitely. That's a good idea. My DMs are open for discussion about that. Choir is so fun. Yeah. Absolutely does help with practicing or recording singing, even if it's quite a different. Yeah, for sure. And all I was like trying to think through the sentence while speaking. That never works. But yeah, I've been doing like harmony parts, so I've been getting pretty decent practice at like alto harmony. Because my voice is unfortunately not as high as it used to be. I used to have a crazy range, but now I'm like low soprano to alto. But I have to work on being able to sing a little bit higher again. But yeah, I've gotten some practice in on that. And because I can like hear myself within the mix of the choir, like because the part I would be doing is like nobody else is doing the same part, I can kind of tell like if I'm mixing well and what I sound like. So I feel like that's been good for me as far as practicing goes. Hello, Nani! Good to see you! We're working on some YouTube banner art. And talking about music and singing and the potential future covers and collabs and whatever else comes to mind. And we just finished talking a little bit about our next stream, since it'll be my last one for a while, and we kind of want to do like a little party. So we might do some multiplayer games. Probably Monday. Hello, Looper. Good to see you. How's your day been going? I feel like how it normally works is people voices get a little lower over time. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I had a few years straight where I pretty much refused to sing, like, at all. Like, I guess you'd say I had like a random like anxiety spike that lasted a few years, and so I didn't want anyone to hear me sing. So I didn't for like years. And then only more recently started singing again. So during that time, because that was like my late teens, so probably I stopped singing while my voice was changing a bit, and so I lost all ability I had to hit high notes, which is really sad, but I want to work on it again and like practice doing high notes and get my voice to be a little more ranged again. I used to be able to sing everything from alto to pretty high soprano. Like there would still be a point where it would be difficult for me to hit, but I don't think I'll ever have the range I used to because it's just part of growing older, but I want to get some of my range back. 3 transition into night, so that means time to get in. Aww. That's good enough. So I've gotten my little sister hooked on Psych recently. I had found it like on Amazon Prime Video or whatever. Because I thought my siblings would like it, and then I played like the first episode for my little sister, and then basically walked away, and then came back hours later and she was still watching it. And then the next day she decided she wanted to watch more. So that's been fun. We've been watching a lot of Psych. And The Office. Those are like our 2 shows right now. Used to have a pretty good range, but the gods decided having fire breath was a hazard. Oh, you know what? That's fair. Trying to practice in making tracks sound more deep. Oh. Yeah, right? Psych is so much fun. I love that. Like, first of all, it's just fun. It's just goofy. It's a good time. It's not too serious. I mean, a lot of crime show series shouldn't be goofy because it would kind of ruin the crime scene investigation part of a lot of them. But with Psych, it works perfectly because it's written that way. But in addition to that, I feel like it's more intelligent than a lot of other crime shows I've watched. Like, they actually, I feel like, are kind of smart in the way they like lay out clues, and like every episode is different. It doesn't feel like the exact same formula for every single case, and like it's really fun to follow along with it and like try to solve the case while they're trying to figure it out. Like sometimes you do figure it out super fast and sometimes you don't, and that's honestly impressed me for a show that's just goofy. So I feel like it's perfect. It's the great mix. Yeah, and then The Office is like similar but completely different, obviously, because it's not investigative. It's way more just silly and like zone out to it humor, but some of the jokes are kind of smart. And I also find that very fun. There's a kid screaming outside my window. Just startled me for a second. Oh, for those of you who watch Psych, who's your favorite character? Because originally my favorite was Gus, but now it's slowly becoming Lassiter. Which I never thought I would say, but I actually kind of love him. He's a weirdly, like, thought-out character for just being the cranky, like, rival kind of character. I quite enjoy his character development. Clue episode is one of your favorite? I don't know if I've seen that one yet. I'm still, like, somewhat new to it. Like, I watched it for the first time years ago, but only watched, like, the first few episodes, and now I'm, like, watching more of it, but I'm excited for that. Clue is one of my favorite board games, and I love the Clue movie, so anything Clue themed sounds great to me. We just watched the knockoff American Idol episode, I think, what is it, yesterday? The day before? That was fantastic as well. The character development in the show is so good. It is. Like, I was not expecting such good like development and character depth in such a silly show. It's fantastic. Even like Sean's relationship with his dad is kind of like intriguing. Jazzy keys? Ooh. Yeah, that sounds fun but difficult, because I feel like you gotta have the right touch for jazz. So it might take like a lot of practice, but jazz sounds like fun. Anything with that kind of jazzy rhythm, as long as you can pull it off. So much hair. Sometimes I surprise myself by just how much hair I have. Most of what you've written is in major? Oh. D sharp major. Cool. Yeah, I feel like minor keys are super cool if they sound right, if they're used correctly, but would be difficult to get right. Almost the opposite problem where your voice wants to be jazzy by default. I mean, I'm gonna be real, I like a jazzy sound more than a pop sound anyway. But I can see how that would be a problem when you want to cover pop songs and things that are more similar to that sound rather than jazzy. I don't know what my voice is, honestly. It's neither. It's just... I don't know. One of the things I do want to improve with my voice is just kind of like the sound, the vibe of it. Because I feel like it's fine, right? It's got its own sound, but I feel like I'm not very varied with it. I can't really do a lot of different sounds with my voice. It just kind of does itself. Unless, apparently, when I'm singing along to things, I accidentally mimic whatever I'm listening to, and I didn't realize that until my mom pointed it out a few years ago, and now I've realized I do it, and I don't know how to mimic things when I'm not listening to them. Singing voice and speaking voice don't match? That's interesting. Like, I've heard of British people having an American accent when they sing, but I haven't heard of an American having a different accent when they sing. Ugh. That's kind of cool in a way. I think everyone's voice changes a little bit when they sing, but I feel like I still sound like the same person. The songs before I didn't have any backing at all? Oh. Lots of backing. That's cool. You know what, Junie? That does make sense. So far, it's better than before, but still in major. Want to try minor. That sounds like, fun. I hope it works out for you. I also quite enjoy techno. I'm not as familiar with trance, but sounds like fun. It means you can do cranberries. Wait. I think I know what that means. Well, I do, but I don't. It's in the back of my mind somewhere. There we go. Like techno, but with mood? Cool. I Oh, the band. Yeah, I've heard of them. I can't recall what exactly they do at the moment, but I'm sure I've heard their music before. '90s Irish singer. That sounds like fun. I'm sure I've heard them. I must have heard them. Yeah, that's too bad. A lot of the old classics are either have already died or are dying off. It's quite unfortunate. I'm just waiting for like us to have another like Renaissance era, because I feel like creative fields in general are kind of just they've gone downhill recently in like recent years. And like after every crash, there's some kind of like renaissance where someone says screw it and does something different. And I'm kind of waiting for that to happen. But there are still lots of indies that are good. It's just like nothing like in the limelight. Usually pretty long by song standards. Ooh, I actually quite appreciate long songs. I miss the era where 8 minutes long was totally acceptable as a length for a song. Like, Stairway to Heaven. I really like songs that length, because to me, when I get to the end of like a 2 or 3 minute long song, I'm not done listening to it. I want more. About 7 minutes? Perfect. 6 to 8 minutes is like perfect. Not 5 minutes is good. Some songs you shouldn't push longer than 4 or 5 minutes because they just are too repetitive and get boring after that amount of time. But yeah, somewhere between like 4 to 8 minutes I think is my ideal range. "23 minutes acceptable? Yes. If it's a good song, and I can like vibe to it in the background while I'm doing other things, yeah, I'll listen to a 23-minute track. 23 hours? I'd probably not listen to. I might get an hour in. Or if I'm like, if it's something I can do while I'm, like, listen to while I'm doing homework or something, I might do like 2 or 3 hours. That might be my limit. Now the question is, for this logo, do I want to just reuse? I think I do. Just want to reuse this one. This, I'm drawing this on top of my current banner just to get like the proportions right and everything. So like you might recognize this. But I have this like logo already drawn for it. And I think I'm gonna use that same logo, so I don't have to redraw it. But maybe I should shrink it a little bit so it actually fits in here. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll shrink it and then like add those little details around it. Why redraw what already drawn? Enjoy when an artist makes 2 songs but they blend from one to the other? Absolutely. Yeah, that's always fun. It's almost like you're listening to a musical or something and everything's just intertwined. Like the The Proto Men albums. Those are a lot of fun. Yeah. I agree, Looper. I think I will make it fit into there so it's not cut off. I know you do, Junie. You're the reason that I know who they are. Yeah, Arashi went and listened to them after your recommendation, and then he played them for me like while we were driving. So we had the car speakers all around us, and we listened to both albums like in the same day, and it was a good time. Almost the same, with the exception of 4 artists being restricted to same instruments. Well, I'm gonna do Bob and Stella Luna next, because those are details that I know for sure are gonna be going there. So let's line them. Starting with Bob. I always start with Bob, and then do Stella Luna second, because her very round shape can be hard to get just right. And he's also very round, but has like different shapes to him, so I don't have to get it all perfect, necessarily. So I feel like he's a little bit easier to draw. Look at that chubby little guy, he's so cute. He's bean-shaped, intentionally. Bean. Can they play multiple instruments at a time? That is always impressive, I agree with that. Also, I realized I don't know if everyone here even knows who I'm talking about when I talk about Bob and Stella Luna. So let me see if I have my assets for them here. I don't think I have them in OBS, but I'll open them up real quick. Let's see. Image. Bob. Give me a moment while I search for these files. Girl and Skelly who can play guitar and keyboard at the same time? What? How? That's so cool. Okay, there's Bob. He's huge. Wait, let me shrink him. This is Bob. And then I'll pull up Stella Luna. 21 Pilots, drum and trumpet. Oh, I've heard, isn't 21 Pilots the one that's like just 2 guys? They really impress me too. I don't really listen to them, but still. I think they're cool. Want to try chiptune? But the way you make them right now is blasphemy? Wait, how is it blasphemy? You're using rendered sounds? Oh. Bob Champ! Yes. Okay. Now I'll get Stella Luna. Stella? Where are you? There she is. Big Stella. Wito Stella. Okay, so there they are. Now I have my 2 little buddies here. Yeah. There's Bob and Stella Luna. I do have a Bob Champ emote. It's actually in our Discord server that is pretty much ready for the public, but has one more thing that a certain person needs to finish for it. But obviously since I don't have members on here, I can't put it on YouTube yet, but it does exist. Wait, I think it's in your server too, Junie. If I recall, I think Nani added it. So you should be able to see it in there. There's the visual novel quota, missing out, already hit the 40-hour mark on one arena. Oh. Yeah, I never quite got into visual novels. It's quite a commitment. I've played through, I think only one that I've actually technically gotten through. Like, I haven't played the entire game, but I've gotten through one of the paths or whatever. But that was Mystic Messenger, and then I decided I did not have the commitment to do another playthrough because the game, I think because it's like an Asian game, it was set to Asian times, and in that game, like, they have online chat rooms, right? Like, it's created to make you feel like you're actually messaging these characters, and so they have like chat rooms that open at certain times of day, and you have to like log in during those times of day and be a part of the chat if you want to like interact with the characters and continue the route and stuff. But because of whatever like timing it was set on, it would wake me up at like 3 a.m. to make me play the game, and I couldn't skip all of the 3 a.m. conversations or I would get the bad ending. So I would be consistently waking up at 3 a.m. to play this stupid, like, dating sim visual novel game, and I was like, this is not worth it. So I got through one route with one character, and then I dropped the game. And I have started Doki Doki Literature Club, but because I already know how that one goes, and I've already caught myself getting attached to the girls, I stopped playing that one too. I'll go back to it eventually. Maybe I'll stream it. Probably Nani. I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. I'd have to look it up. So there's a potential I could figure that out, but I'd have to play with plugin stuff. Let's see. Still nothing will top the 89 hours it took me to just finish a visual novel. Ooh, that's a long visual novel. Don't keep track of your mods. They do what they want. Overrated? Yeah, I was about to say, I saw you say underrated, and I was like, are you serious? Like, it's super popular, but I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. I really like how, like, part of the game is messing around with the files, like, outside of the game. I love that kind of, what is it, like, augmented reality? I think that's what you call that kind of aspect to it. I think that's pretty cool. I do feel like it's a little overrated, because people kind of treat it like it's the best game in existence and like the only horror game that has ever had like that kind of formula to it, and it isn't exactly the only visual novel that's horror. But I think it's cool. Again, I haven't played through the whole thing, so I can't say just how overrated it is. I think I'd have to play through the whole thing. I did like what I had played of it so far. Like, I like the system of like reading the girls' poems and giving feedback on them. I liked that. I would honestly play a normal dating sim with that system too, that doesn't get into horror. Even though I'm not really a dating sim person per se, I just love that kind of aspect of like how you interact with the girls by actually doing things, because I feel like a lot of visual novels is just pick generic answers and get generic results. DDLC is the only game ever made. Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. I can understand that, Uber. I think it just appeals to everyone because it's so cute. Like, the girls are adorable, and it's really easy to get attached to them. And so I feel like because of that, a lot of people got into it because they're like, oh my gosh, cute girls, cute dating sim. And then they got into the horror part. And so, like, because it was so shocking to people who didn't know what they were getting into, that's why it became so popular. Yeah. I still like the characters. I was mad when I started to enjoy, Natsuki, I believe, the tsundere character. Because at first I thought she was super annoying. Because she was just so, like, stereotypical tsundere almost. But then, like, at one point, I realized that I was starting to like her when, I had to choose between hanging out with Yuri or her. And I chose to hang out with Yuri because she was my favorite. And then Natsuki got really upset, and I felt really bad. That was when I was like, oh no, I guess I like her. Playing a Princess Maker game, and think you'd enjoy. I'll try it. How bad the bad endings were and how many there were. Oh no. Not the same as DDLC, it's definitely its own thing. Tsundere can be adorable. There's this balance, right? I really like tsunderes who are written well. I, to an extent, kind of relate to them, so I really like good tsundere characters. But there's also a fine line, because there's a point where you get into the stereotypical shallow tsundere type, whose entire personality is, it's not like I like you, with no rhyme or reason, and they're just rude. And I feel like that's the type of characters in a lot of, like, bad anime, and I don't like those. Yeah. But yeah, definitely Junie, like, you can DM that to me or put it in your server or somewhere where I'll see it. And I'll check it out. I think, things like that, like simple little visual novel style type of games are something that I might actually be able to handle streaming. So I definitely like to find some that I enjoy. Because part of the problem, the reason I don't play games on stream is just because they'll lag so much. When I try to, like, record or stream them, they just get really choppy. So it's not a great viewing experience, but a visual novel is pretty much a still image. So even if it does lag, I don't feel like it's a big deal. A little bit torn on what you'd suggest? That's okay. I'd say if you have, like, a favorite or one that's a little different, because, I don't really care for, like, the dating aspect, right? I'm not, like, a anime waifu/husbando simp. I get really bored with, like, stereotypical, like, flirty anime character situations and whatnot. So I've, like, tried to get into visual novels in the past and just not really enjoyed them because they all tend to be pretty typical. So if you know any that are, like, kind of break the mold or have really interesting character depth, I love that kind of thing. And I would also play something goofy, like the KFC Colonel Sanders one. I kind of want to play that one. I might play, like, Hatoful Boyfriend, the one with pigeons. Think you could stream these games? Yeah, I think so. Cool. I'll definitely try it out. Okay, let me write that one down. The fruit of Grisaya? Of Gris... There we go. Cool. Got it written down, so I'll remember to go look it up. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. What you need is a visual novel for... Yes. Pretty much. You've got it pretty much pegged, Junie. Oh. actually a series. They even have an anime adaptation. Oh! Yeah, I feel like for adaptations of things like that, they tend to be pretty bad. Is it like you would recommend watching it just for laughs bad, or is it don't even try, don't even bother bad? Don't play it, skip straight to Idol Magical Girl. Oh my gosh. Should I write that one down too? Yeah, Nani knows some interesting things, honestly. Just an average Idol enjoyer, I suppose. Haven't seen a good VN anime adaptation yet? Yeah. Although, Higurashi is originally a visual novel, and it had a pretty good anime. I never finished watching it, but it's one of Arashi's favorites. Own both chapters? Only play chapter 1 for 15 minutes? Oh. Okay, let me write down whichever idol one. Where'd it go? There it is. Michiru. Okay, got that one written down. What is it a spin-off of? Are they both the two things related, or is it a spin-off of something else? Thank you. I also enjoy the way her face is poking into the screen. She and Bob over here being chaotic little gremlins with their chaotic little faces. I redrew part of that. Why did I do that? That's okay. I can just do that. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Oh yeah? So I'll start with Grisaya, and then I'll go to Chiru Chiru. And then if I don't like the first one, I'll just skip to the second one. For my own sake, get the Steam versions? Oh. Yeah, gotcha. That's probably a good idea. Also, considering that is a concern, how graphic is it? And how intense does it get? And is it like a scene or two? Or is it throughout the game? I feel like those are important questions to ask. Can you stream Doki Doki? I think I have that on Steam already. So theoretically, I should be able to, yeah. Okay, so everything is stream friendly except like the certain scenes. That's kind of my main question. If I can avoid those scenes and still be able to stream the rest without problem, then I think I can manage that. But if it's like one of those games that's like all fan service, then I'll probably avoid it. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I prefer to avoid like fan servicey type games, but I know that's hard to do with visual novels because most of them have something in there. So, I mean, as long as it's not like the whole game, I'll try it out or I'll at least look into it. Security guards come in from either side of Nani, grab him, and drag him out. In visual novels, it's impossible. Mostly impossible. There are the few innocent ones, but when you get to the really interesting ones, most of them have some content. Yeah. In fact, I have tried to find visual novels that are like totally innocent, non-romantic, and the ones that have been recommended to me didn't look very good, so I stopped trying. They look kind of creepy without their eyes filled in. Hoshi ori yume mirai. That's a lot of words. Boop, 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 boop. That works. There we go. Okay, less creepy. Mostly for shut-ins, hence why 99% of them are, yeah. Uh-huh. They definitely know their audience. I'm just not their audience. I just like a good story. I also need to play more, like, RPG Maker style games. Because those I feel like are fun. I mean, a lot of them I feel like are the same basic thing, because they're just kind of copying each other, but they tend to be, like, cute little, like, puzzle kind of games, and I feel like there are some really good ones. So that's something I want to get more into. Yeah, I hope not. Yeah, I'm gonna include this little guy, but nobody's gonna know who he is. It's just gonna be an inside joke for myself, mostly. ReZero was a blast. Oh. Yeah, I know of at least the anime. I know it's popular. I've never seen the original source material though. Since you want to do that one, do... Okay. Oh, okay. So do Michiru? Okay. Michiru root. Okay, I've got that written down too. You miss the old days of doing random story roleplays with people? Yeah. Honestly, Junie, I'm always down. I know the last time we tried to roleplay, it kind of dropped off a cliff. I think we both kept forgetting about it, and the last time it was definitely my fault. But, if you want to start up a new one anytime, I don't mind doing a fun little magical adventure roleplay, because I completely agree. I used to roleplay a lot back in my cringy DeviantArt days, but the moment someone tried to turn something romantic, I was out. My most interesting roleplay story, well, though my stories are tame. Like, I've heard some crazy roleplay stories. I didn't even give people the chance to get me into weird situations. But, my worst, roleplay scenario is, I used to, have, like, a note on, like, my DeviantArt page saying, like, if you want to roleplay, feel free to DM me. So I got a request to roleplay from someone, and I was like, oh, cool, like, what style of roleplay do you prefer? You know, expecting, like, more, like, long-form storytelling versus, like, you know, quick little, you know, that kind of thing. No, instead they sent me a list of, like, I forget what all it was. There was, like, action, like, you know, some normal things, adventure, whatever, and then in the middle of the list was foot fetish. I never responded to them. Sarah, the original web novel when season 2 part 1 ended, I want to continue so bad. Yeah. I get that for sure. 130 chapters, then 90, then 83, then 120 again. Wow. Yeah. High-key think they probably interacted before in the DVR roleplay lands and just didn't realize it. You know what? It would be really funny if that was true. I feel like I was not well known enough to probably have crossed your path, but if we did cross paths, that'd be quite the origin story. Yeah, I had like one person who I roleplayed with more regularly, who I stopped roleplaying with because like every single roleplay we did, like it would be fun at first and like we had a pretty good like our styles were pretty similar, but then he would always make his character be the Mary Sue of every single plot and like somehow save the day. Even like I had a roleplay that was in one of my own settings where like he's not supposed to try to fight the bad guys, and I literally said in it that like the bad guys were kind of undefeatable because complicated story stuff, and he immediately went, okay, we're gonna go kill them all in the middle of the roleplay, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. And he was like, oh, sure we can. So like I kind of got sick of him constantly making himself the hero, and then my characters the weak little babies who had to be defended by him. So then I tried to do a roleplay where my character was more in control, and he didn't like it. And I think that was the last roleplay we did together. But that was a fun time while it lasted. As much as I had some negative experiences, it was mostly positive. I didn't get into like the really creepy areas of the roleplay community, luckily. Too desperate to enter his redemption arc. Definitely won't be a problem with you, yeah. Honestly, fair. Yeah, there are a few of my characters who fit that description as well, and I usually avoid role-playing with because other people complain about it. So supposed to be like a game of catch. If your partner's hogging the ball, it won't be any fun. Absolutely. Yeah. I agree with that. And on the flip side, it's also gets exhausting when you're the only one, like, making calls, and the other person just kind of expects you to carry the roleplay. It's like a story you're making together. Kind of like, TTRPGs, which are also role-playing, but a different kind. Big round eyes. Yep, exactly, Junie. If you're always winning, you can never develop. Pretty much. I mean, technically... No, never mind. You know what, I take that back. I was about to say, Goku technically always wins and yet still improves. But, no, he actually dies at one point. So he does lose. And also, he's not the deepest character. So yeah. Alright, see you, Looper. Thanks for stopping by. It was great seeing you. And have fun with your game. No, his eyes are not even. This always happens. Okay, I just need to make this a little bigger. That's better. Doesn't have to be perfect. Peek. Goku never wins. Yeah, he has to lose and then have to, like, get stronger, right? And then becomes, like, stronger than a god, and then gets defeated by someone who's even stronger than that, and then he has to become even stronger than that, and then they find someone else stronger, and then has to become even stronger. Rinse and repeat. Would be kind of fun stream. Funny stream idea. If you could get ChatGPT to roll. Oh, that would be so much fun. Unfortunately, I have not been able to get ChatGPT to work for me. I have tried, and it won't let me in. So I don't know if I can do that. Because I don't know if I can make, like, an account or whatever the heck with it. So I can't really access it. It doesn't like me. And yes, I did try to get into ChatGPT to get help with my homework. I am guilty of that, but my professors have recommended doing that, so I'm not cheating. And I couldn't do it anyway. Using AI to roleplay for the past few... Yui? Yeah. I feel like as long as the AI has fun enough responses, that would be fun to play with. Because AI is cool. Despite the annoyingness of, you know, AI bros, when you're not in that sphere, AI is cool. Oh. What I've also seen people do that's pretty cool, and I would love to do something similar, is I've seen other art YouTubers use ChatGPT to generate, like, art prompts. Like, it'll tell them certain details of a character, and then, like, maybe a bit of a backstory or something, and based on that, they have to design a character. I would love to do something like that, too, if I could ever get ChatGPT to work for me. Very good if you get good models. Got a ranking board of AI models based on how smart they are, and you've been playing with them. Ooh, that's fun. I've got all the characters drawn. Now I have to do the details. Yeah, I'll just start with the things that I know for sure how they're gonna look. Like this guy, that's literally right in front of me, so I can just look down for a reference. And yes, for anyone who wonders what tools I use, I do use a screenless old Wacom Intuos that I got while I was in high school, and still works great. And the only thing I've ever replaced for it is the cord, which I think I need to replace again soon because it is once again breaking apart, but I'm now using a like third-party, not Wacom brand one, so it's a little cheaper quality. And I still have the original like stylus like pen nibs that came with it, and have not gotten through them all yet. They've lasted years. But I heard, like, not long after I got my tablet, Wacom apparently changed their formula for their pen nibs, so now they, like, wear way quicker, and you have to replace them, like, every couple months or something. So that makes me a little bit scared for when I eventually do have to get new ones, because they won't last me years anymore. But yeah. Okie dokie, Nani, have fun, lurking, or whatever you're up to. So, I will be mostly talking to myself, which is totally fine, because I need practice in that. And one of the things that stinks about the fact that I'm, like, gonna stop streaming for a bit really soon is that I feel like I'm actually getting into the swing of it. And, like, I've figured out how to, like, talk without feeling super, like, nervous or self-conscious. And, I feel like now that I'm gonna, like, I'm about to stop streaming for a bit, I'm gonna, like, forget how to do that and have to restart. Oh, but I'll figure it out. I've done it once, I can do it again. Still amazes me that you use that because you struggle so hard with mine. Yeah, honestly, when I started with this thing, it was so hard. So I definitely understand, for sure. I feel you. It takes a while. It took me, I think, a few months to really get used to it. My first few digital art attempts were pretty terrible. And now, after years of using it, it's pretty much natural for me. Like right now it's actually a little harder for me to use than usual because I'm streaming and my computer can be a little bit laggy at times, so every now and then like the line won't draw exactly how I want it to. So, you know, I do a lot of undo, and I do a lot of undo in general, but I'm doing a little more than I usually do. So yeah, I've gotten pretty comfortable with it after years, to the point where I'm actually worried that if I do get a screen tablet, it'll be weird to me to transition to that. But eventually I do want one. They're expensive, so not anytime soon because I'm a struggling college student, but I wanted to see if I can get one that I can take on the go with me. So I might end up getting an iPad, but I know I've seen a Wacom one that's transportable, but I don't even know if they sell them anymore, because when I saw one, it was like years ago, and I only saw it because like one of my siblings had an art friend who brought it over one day and was showing it off, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It was the first screen tablet I'd ever seen in my life, and that was like the exact one I wanted, right? And then when I looked them up, I found out like most of them have to plug into a computer to work. And I was like, well, what's the point of getting a tablet if it only works as a screen? So I kind of want to do a little more research because I haven't been able to find one that can work without being plugged in, besides using the iPad as a tablet. It may seem like you're joking, but internally in your head, make stream commentary on everything you do. Yeah, I do. Actually, I've been doing that for a bit now. Like, since I decided that I wanted to be a content creator, I've kind of started monologuing or narrating my life a little bit in my head. But I feel like what the trouble was for me when I started was that like I could think of things to say, but I felt weird like saying it to myself and like getting it out of my head, which I think is just a little bit of a social anxiety thing. And like right now I'm not having a problem with it. I think I've gotten pretty used to it. But yeah, it's more an issue of just like getting out my thoughts verbally. Which just takes a little practice, I think. Other touchscreen laptops that can turn into drawing tablets as well? Yeah. Technically the one I have does that. But it doesn't have pressure sensitivity. Which is, like, kind of unfortunate for me because I use the pressure sensitivity a lot. Like, see that this part of the line is thick and this part is thin? That's how pressure sensitive my, the tablet I use now is. When I just use the screen, like with my finger, this is what it looks like. It's all just one thick, straight line. There's no variation. And I use a lot of line weight variation in my art, so I sometimes use this screen. Like when I'm doing, whatever you call it. Browser games, like Scribble or, like TKO in Jackbox, things like that. I will actually use my finger on this screen sometimes, but when I'm like using my actual drawing program, I prefer to have that pressure sensitivity. Are you happy with your iPad? Get it on Apple Card, then you can pay it off over time. Yeah, I'm a little scared about anything similar to a credit card. At least until I have, like, a steady income. I don't want to mess around with anything like that. It is a thought. And I might just look for one on sale at some point in the future. But I'd also like an iPad, for VTube Studio. So, yeah, I might look into just getting an iPad, using it for VTuber model and drawing program and whatever else I might need a tablet for, because I can take that to classes and take notes on that instead of lugging around my heavy laptop. And I've seen other students do that and been jealous of them, so yeah, it's something I definitely want to look into, but I don't have the money for anything like that at the moment anyway. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see. Pen. Also, what's the brand called? Huion, I believe it is like a almost like a Wacom equivalent brand that a lot of people have recommended for screen tablets. And they look good. I've heard that they work just as well as Wacom. But the reason why I don't want them, even though they're like probably half the price, right? So they're a little bit more affordable. But I've heard someone say that they work for like 2 years and then you have to replace them. And that to me, for something you pay $500 for, I never want to replace that. And I've never heard of someone having to replace their $1,000 Wacom tablet. So if I can have a Wacom for like 10 years versus a Huion for 2 years, I'm gonna take the thing that's only $500 more expensive if it's gonna be a lifelong tablet. So that's my little thought on that. But I don't have my own experience. And it's hard to find like reviews and whatnot about that because most people who do reviews on these kinds of things do a review like the week that they have it. There's no like, so I've had this for 3 years and here's how it's still functioning. So it's hard to do research on that aspect. Wouldn't want something that dies like that. Nope. Not for me. And like, I was told it by someone who was like promoting it too and was like saying like, you should totally get this one. It's like way cheaper than Wacom. And then they were like, sure, you have to replace it every 2 years, but with commissions, you can make that money back. I'm like, no, I can't. I don't make $200 in commissions in a year. I don't actually I haven't been doing commissions even recently, so I'm not making anything off of commissions, but like when I was doing commissions, I'd make $100 maybe. Like I have a small following. I don't have a style that's very highly desired, and I just can't take on a lot at a time. So I would not want to, like, try to, I would not want to have to worry about, like, having to make that money back through my art. Because I don't even want that kind of pressure to have to, like, promote myself that much. Putting pressure on your art is the #1 way to make it not fun anymore. For sure. Yeah. That's why I stopped advertising commissions. Now I do them when someone I know asks for one. I mean, every now and then if someone, like, I'm not as familiar with asks for a commission, I might take it, just because I don't get a lot of requests usually, because, I mean, I don't even advertise commissions, so most people probably don't even assume I have them. But, like, I only do them by request now, if someone approaches me. Because, I found that having, like, those deadlines and feeling like I had to make this art just made me not really want to do it. Especially with a busy schedule, when I was, like, you know, in the middle of the semester or preparing for exams and I had commission work I had to do. It was just no bueno. But, you know, when I can choose whether or not I'll take a commission, just based on how I'm feeling and my schedule and whatnot, it makes it more chill. So, like, I think Locke's emotes I took that commission after I stopped advertising. But I had fun with that one. Oof, I need to do some crocheting on the channel too. That'd be a fun stream, I feel like. Crocheting is just really relaxing. And I always neglect it. Like, I love it, right? And I can do some pretty, like, basic to almost moderate level, maybe, stuff. But I will crochet, like, a couple things within a few years, and then I'll drop it again, and then I'll come back to it. I'm not consistent with it, but it's fun. $5 months to make one emote? Yeah. Sometimes it be like that. And before I stopped advertising my commissions, I actually wanted to start getting into, like, animation commissions. But then I realized that would be nearly impossible for me if I can't even get the motivation to draw a chibi most of the time. The same way with embroidery, yeah? That I feel like it's always those kinds of crafts. But I always feel like those kinds of crafts are kind of easy to just pick up and, like, do for a bit and then put back down at the same time. So I feel like it's okay to have some stuff like that. Last time I crocheted, I was trying to make, like, a frog plushie for my friend. And I never finished it. But, I never told her what it was I was making for her either. And we kind of, stopped hanging out. Like, she's still, I'm sure I could message her and we'd still, like, be friendly and all that. But I feel like our lives just went in slightly different directions. So, like, I have a concern about whether or not I should actually finish it, because I don't know if I'll even be able to get it to her. But yeah, I think she's still gonna be going to my college this semester when I go back there, so I might try to finish it and then meet up with her and give it to her. Very muscle memory involved, yeah. That's the great thing. Like, I was so concerned the first time I dropped crochet for like a few years or whatever. I was like, am I gonna remember how to do it? Like, it's been so long. I'm gonna have to remember, relearn everything. I picked it up and I was like, oh no, I remember all this. I even know what these different stitches mean for the most part. Like, a few of the stitches I did have to look up short tutorials for, but once I saw someone doing it once, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that stitch. It's pretty great. Yarn. I feel like it'd be pretty fun to do like a tutorial crochet stream too. But the one problem with that is that like viewers who want to participate would have to go and buy their own equipment. Luckily though, I feel like crochet equipment is relatively inexpensive in the grand scheme of crafts. You can get like a thing of yarn for like $3 and then a crochet hook for like less than $1 probably. And that's enough for you to start. Have a harder time picking back up drawing a few weeks rather than embroidery. Yeah. I think that's true. I feel like it's easier for your wrist to forget how to draw. I also feel like the wrist is a pretty like sensitive part, so like when you're not working it out and when you're drawing, you're working your wrist, right? And then it's like strong, it gets stronger in order to be able to make those motions that you make when you draw. So when you stop drawing for a while and you're not using your wrist as much, I feel like it weakens and then it has more trouble getting the lines to look the way you want them to. Do it as a video or a VODed stream, so if they can't buy it when you do it, they can come back to it later. It's a good idea. Well, I could do, like, do it as a stream. Obviously, I'll have the VOD up, because I'll only ever delete a VOD if, like, there's an issue with YouTube, or if it's, like, a karaoke where I do, like, songs that are copyrighted or things like that. Usually I keep all my VODs up, but I could also do, like, a highlights video that kind of shortens it down, condenses it to just, like, the important details. So it could be its own video tutorial as well as a live stream. That could be fun. Could be a way to make that work. And of course, if I were gonna do a stream tutorial with a physical craft, I would also post probably a community post on YouTube, letting people know like what supplies they need in advance, so that if they do want to follow along during stream, they have the time to go and get that. I think I'm gonna wrap up soon for two reasons. One being that I've almost streamed for 2 hours now, and the other being that for some of these items I want to grab a reference and make sure I'm making it look right. So I can work on a few more details that I don't really need a reference for, and then I think we'll wrap up. Super good way to do it. I'm glad you think so. I might do it that way. It's also why I like talking about ideas, like stream and video ideas on stream, because I feel like I'll say something that I've had in my head and then someone else will like add their idea of how to make it work, and then that triggers like another idea in my brain. And even if it's like a simple thing, sometimes you just need to like get it out verbally to really figure it out. Yeah. Boo-doo-ba-doo, boo-doo-ba-doo, boop, 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 boop. Pencils. I always draw like typical number 2 style pencils, but I don't actually use pencils that look like this most of the time. I usually use mechanical pencils, and when I'm not using mechanical pencils, they're usually either like actual drawing pencils or like colored pencils. You should do that when you do your sewing videos. Ooh, that'll be fun. I would definitely tune in for a sewing stream. Thank you. I'm glad you think it's cute. And I will color it cute colors. Probably. Yeah, it's just like, these kind of pencils I just feel like are more aesthetically pleasing and easy to draw in a recognizable way than a mechanical pencil. Although I think I did draw, yeah, I drew a mechanical pencil in my, my, like, debut comic thing. And I think I made that kind of cute. Put like a cloud or something on the end of it. Mechanical pencils are 100% superior because they get thinner lines than number 2 pencils. Yep, and they stay sharp. And they break less. Unless you're using like a 0.1 millimeter or something. Which exists, but very few people use. I'm also curious for those who use mechanical pencils, what size you use. I usually use 0.5, that's my favorite for sketching. But sometimes for like taking notes or things that are not drawing, I like to use a 0.7. So I feel like it is easier to use like more quickly without having to press as hard. And it's less likely to rip through my weak little like lined paper. Whereas the 0.5, it might rip through, you know, normal paper, but it's good on, like, thick sketchbook paper. Crochet your characters? If I can, yeah. Want to do actual tutorial videos for making doll clothes, but have to get a table? Oh, yeah. That makes sense. I would love to see that. Please, I might even follow some of your tutorials with my own sewing supplies. I have made two. I've made 2 doll outfits already, but I have not been getting as deep into it as I would like to have already, but I meant to do that as like a summer project and then got a bit distracted with other things. But yeah, I would absolutely love some like doll clothes videos. Tutorials or not tutorials. I eat that stuff up. But that is definitely a concern, having the space for it, because it takes more space than, I don't know, simple things you do with like a computer or like just drawings or whatever. I could try to crochet Bob and Stella Luna since they're simple shapes. I could definitely do Stella Luna. That would be not hard. I could easily look up a pattern for like an amigurumi that already exists. That's that kind of round ovalish shape, and then just follow that. I've never like made my own crochet patterns. So the tricky thing with Bob would be just figuring out like how many stitches of a certain type I need to do per row to get the right shape. Because that's really the whole game of crochet, is you change stitch numbers and stitch types to kind of widen and shrink the shape. And because he's that bean shape, I'm gonna have to like widen, then thin, then widen, then thin. So I'm gonna have to create my own pattern for that, because I don't think that I'd be able to find one. So he'd be a little more tricky. But as long as I can figure that out, he'd be a more simple project to use to figure that out, since he's still not too complex. But I could definitely start with Stella Luna. I have crocheted little octopus amigurumi slash plushies. If you haven't heard that term, it's just simple crochet plushies. It's like a certain style to crocheting. But if you look at my shorts videos, I have a little showcase of my crochet octopi on there. And I've made 3 of them. Yes. I still have 2 of them. One of them was a gift for one of my siblings. the other two are mine, and I keep with me. They'll even be at college with me. And they had names, but I don't remember them, because I let my Instagram followers name them years ago, and forgot what they named them, unfortunately. I'm a little unsure if I want this to just be a solid shape, like very cartoony, or if I want to have like some bristles visible. I feel like it's more recognizable as a paintbrush if it's all one chunk, because I feel like that's such a typical way to draw them. Come on. Yeah, this one has some bristles separated because this style of brush I always feel like gets all messed up like this. At least when you have cheaper brushes, which I always do because I don't have the money to buy expensive brushes. They get so overpriced. And I don't paint regularly enough for it to be worth getting nice brushes. If you wanted, you could add the bristles and the shading. Yeah, I could, I might do that. Little cell shading as like little strips. I don't know why I didn't add a paint palette. That's like the most aesthetically pleasing painting supply in existence, and I own a paint palette. Should have just drawn that. Maybe I will. I might add that in. You like the square one? I'm glad. So I think, whenever I come back to streaming again, one of the things I want to start doing is, my series I mentioned, I think, maybe last stream or the stream before. But to reiterate what the idea is, there's this thing called the 100 character challenge, where basically people will challenge themselves to draw 100 characters. It's as simple as that. I've seen people do it as a group drawing, I've seen people do it as individual, like headshots and things like that. My idea was that I would do one character per stream, and I would choose, like, my OCs who I love dearly and will love to talk about. So I would, like, talk about a different OC each stream, kind of tell a bit about their backstory and their personality while I'm drawing them. Yes, it's a little bit of an excuse for me to talk about my OCs. But I thought it would also be fun, like make it not only a bit of a challenge, but kind of introduce like my writing and my characters a bit to my my followers. And I feel like that'll be fun for me and the viewers, maybe, hopefully. But like if I'm doing one character per video and I'm trying to do 100 characters, that's gonna be a long time and a lot of streams. So it would probably take years. I might even do like 2 characters per stream to make it go a little faster, because I don't know how long, like how many years I'm going to be able to keep streaming regularly. But yeah, I think whenever I come back to streaming after I either figure out what schedule I can do at college, or like I have a break from college or whatever, then I want to do like my first 100 character challenge like stream thing. And my first, sorry, lagged for a second. My first character is going to be this one, who probably nobody knows who this is, but that's why I'm going to be doing a stream about him and talking about him. He's my most important OC, kind of. It's kind of hard to really say, like, different characters are different levels of important depending on which story they're in, like how much I draw them, stuff like that. But like this is the character I always return to eventually. Like I'll get bored of drawing one character and go to another, but like I always come back to this character. So he's in like everything. He's even in my debut comic. I'll pull up so you know what I'm talking about. Some of you may have seen my debut, some of you may not have. So if you did see my debut over on the Storm Squadron channel, or just the comic is uploaded to this channel, I'm in the wrong folder. There we go. Okay, so in my like intro comic that tells a little bit about my backstory, it's loading right now. I have this scene here where like I'm drawing and like getting like bored and frustrated because I have no new ideas and like keep drawing the same thing over and over again. This is that character. That's him. Same boy, he's everywhere. I always insert him like as much as I can, just like a little inside reference for myself that nobody else understands. But yeah, that's why I'm gonna start with him. If I do that. He is the best bean. And he's just fun to draw and easy to insert into like my themes and stuff, because he's pastel and everything. That's my brand is pastel, and so he just easily fits in. Yeah. So you'll learn more about him eventually. And possibly why I put him everywhere. The bear pen in the comic, yeah! That's the one I mentioned before when I was like, oh yeah, I've drawn a mechanical pencil before and made it look cute, but that's it. The mechanical pencil that's in that frame. I had fun. I had a lot of fun making that comic. I want to do more story style videos. Similar to that, but I think what I want to do is a little more like an animation. Not fully animated, because that would take a lot of time and effort, but I want to do more like little videos that are like art with a story on my channel eventually. I just have to figure out plots. Okay, see you, Junie. Enjoy your dinner, and thank you so much for coming. It was good to see you in chat. I think for the first time, right? I was happy to get to chat with you again. It's been a while, I feel like, since we've really caught up. Have a good night. Boo. I'm gonna copy this one, so I still have like the original version, but I'm gonna copy it and then resize it to fit this thing. Okay, let's put that there. Okay. Now we'll adjust this. I think that's good. Just right to fit. Maybe I should move it this way a little. Yeah. And then the text I have to resize. That might be good. I kind of like it poking out of the cloud just a tad. Oh, I forgot to adjust the opacity on this thing. I'll have to recopy it, but that's okay. That gets the idea. And I think that's where I'll leave it for today. And I will get the rest of this done off stream, and whenever it's finished, this will be on my YouTube channel as my new banner, so you'll see it there at some point. I'm not sure how long it'll take me to finish this, because I want to add in lots of little details and make them look good. But yeah, that'll be a thing eventually, along with this thing. This might take me even longer to get to. Because I still want to work out details, and backgrounds are pain, so it might take me a while. But yeah, eventually those will both be added into my roster. Yeah, so thanks for coming by, everyone. It was a really fun stream. I'm glad I got a chance to chat with all of you. And if you're able to, please come by on Monday for my last stream. For now, after that stream, I will probably not be seen again on stream until at least like fall break, if not even longer, depending on like what I can work in. I'll still be uploading videos like I think I mentioned before, so I'm not gonna completely disappear. It's just gonna be less streams for a while. So I'd love it if you'd come by and have a little party with me to say goodbye and start the school year off. Thanks for being here. I had a great time. Banana, to answer your question real quick, I don't paint often at all. I draw digitally mostly, so I paint very, very rarely. I'm still kind of getting into acrylic paint, still learning how to use it. So I have like one finished painting pretty much, and then like practices and stuff. Yeah, I'll be painting more. I actually have plans for acrylic paintings I'll be making soon, so you'll see more paintings from me soon. Thank you, Lucas, so much. Thanks for being here. Goodbye, Banana. Goodbye, Lucas. Goodbye, whoever else is still here. Thanks for stopping by my comfy little bear cave. See you next time.